Aries, this is your January forecast. You've got a little bit of your ship coming in, a little bit of moving ahead at speed, some inheritance, or a little bit of pain. I know I'm naughty, aren't I? And a little bit of clarity. And let's read some instructions. Let's see which cards you have. Your first card out is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands here, as you can see in the picture, is telling you that you can look further ahead. You can make some plans. What is it that you want to do? Because whatever the plan is for January, Aries, you've got your wands here. That's all about your fire. And you're a fire sign. You're going to set yourself on fire in a nice way with your passion, know exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. Because if you do, your ship is coming in. Your ships here are definitely coming in because you're coming up with a great idea and something that you really want to do. Why do I say about a ship coming in? Because back in the 1700s, 1800s, when the galleons used to come in from overseas, the ships contained chests of gold. It means that something is waiting out there, a wonderful new idea is waiting for you, or maybe you've already got the essence of it and it's waiting for you. It's going to bring you the results that you want. But going along on your top line here, we can see that you've got your Knight of Swords, and your Knight of Swords is saying you can move on quickly. You can start going forward because you know exactly what you want to do. Your Three of Wands here is telling you, I've got a great idea. Your Knight of Swords is then telling you, you've got all the right ideas. You've got clarity. You've got understanding. You've got the beginnings of focus. You know exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. And as a result, you've got your Six of Pentacles coming in. And your Six of Pentacles is telling you you've got all the ability to get life into balance, because we've got the balance of the scales here in this picture from the Judge, that something is going to come back into balance for you, that something is going to start happening in the way that you want it. And because we've got the Pentacles here, it means you're going to get the rewards. Traditionally the card of inheritance, but it means that good things that you're wanting, because you've got the clarity and the focus here, because you've got this and because you've got a bright idea, really good idea that your ship is going to come in for you. You've got all the right ideas to make everything happen, for the inheritance, for the gifts, for the rewards to come to you this month. What is it, Aries, that you are up to? Because I'd love to know. Pop me a comment, please, because I'm a little nosy, in case you didn't know. But anyway, the inheritance is coming in. Everything that you want is starting to come for you, and this is great. And why is it great? Because you've put in so much effort. We have a little bit of heartache. But do we have a little bit of heartache? Because you can only be hurt if you want to be hurt. That is a key coaching term. You can only be hurt if you want to be hurt by something. And here in the picture we can see she's wearing her heart. Her heart is a little broken. There is a tear coming down her cheek. But I say to you, you can only be hurt if you want to have a pain activated inside you. Now, come on, Aries. We know you've gone through an awful lot lately, and you've got your inheritance card. You've got your clarity card, and you're moving on quickly, swiftly. You know what you want. Well, that in itself is wonderful because you know what you want, and your ship is starting to come in. You can get whatever you like happening. But in here, I always call this card, the Three of Swords, the Cinderella card. Why? Because Cinderella is really unhappy. She's in the dungeon at the castle, and you know, the ugly sisters are having a wonderful time at the ball, up in the ballroom, and you're in your rags and you're cleaning the floors and you're feeling rubbish about yourself. Like I said, Aries, you can only be hurt if you want to be hurt. So how about, Aries? I know it's a bit late, but maybe it's not, because we've had New Year's Eve and you can still go to the party. How about you find your glad rags? How about you put on some nice clothes? And how about you put on some lovely makeup and you do your hair and you buy yourself a new pair of shoes? Because ultimately, at the back of this card, on the other side of this card, because every card has two meanings, you can either choose to be hurt or you can choose to make everything work for you and you can transition. But in this card, you can actually make an adjustment because you know a situation that could hurt you is actually not about you. It is about everybody else in the situation. And they're the ones who are not good enough. And ultimately, if we go back to the story of Cinderella, Cinderella knows that she's good enough. She knows she's princess material because in the story, the knight in shining armor comes along. Well, we've got your knight in shining armor coming along. She knows she's good enough and she puts on her beautiful ball gown and she goes to the ball and the Prince Charming turns up in his carriage. Here he is, coming along in his carriage. And he has the glass slipper. And amazingly enough, it fits Cinderella because actually she's good enough to wear it. In this reading for you for this month of January, Aries, I want you to be good enough to wear all your good enough badges, to wear the glass slipper, to know that you have the right idea, because we started off so well, but we've got into the story, and the story is telling us you could choose to be hurt by this process and stab yourself with these three swords. Don't do that, please. I don't like blood very much. But anyway, you could stab yourself and make yourself hurt, or you could make the adjustment and know that it's everybody else who has a problem, not you. You know you're good enough. And amazingly enough, your next card in is the King of Swords. And here, the King of Swords, is it a person that's coming towards you? Is this your knight in shining armor? Is this an answer to some problems, a solution? And it may not show you deliberately, but it's there, because just look for that little diamond in everything, that little movement, that little bit of a nugget, that little thing that that action that somebody does that's very minor. Does somebody give you a smile? Just a little smile from nowhere. Or does somebody do something? Or is something small happened and you're going, oh, that's it. That is my knight in shining armor. Because here in your reading, you've actually got two knights. You've got a knight and then you've got a king. Your King of Swords comes and ultimately he's at the top of the chain. The knight has evolved into being the king, your saviour for everything. And he's got his sword in the ground and he's saying, now look, just stop for a moment and think carefully about what you need to do. Because beneath the sword, where he has it, we have some clouds. So he's above the clouds. And the clouds are our problems. In our spiritual world, the clouds are our problems. Because when we get immersed in clouds, we're in fog and we can't see the answer. But like I've already said to you, in your Cinderella card, know your answer. The answer is that you know that you are good enough. And the king here is telling you, step up to the mark. Become royalty. Because by marrying her prince, Cinderella goes off with her prince, she becomes a queen. She's wonderful. She's used to it. She knows she's good enough. Ultimately, in this month of January, Aries, what a month for you, because it's got everything good in it. You need to make that adjustment to change, to transition into where you want to be and where and how you want to go to get to the next stage of getting your new year underway. Wow, Aries, it's all happening for you. And then we finish off this year with the Eight of Pentacles. Now, I said you've got to read some instructions in the introduction. And yeah, you need to read the instructions. What do I mean by that? Well, You've made the adjustments. You've decided not to be Cinderella. You've got your knight in shining armor and you've become the queen and the king. You've elevated your position. You know that you've made the right adjustments this month. But why have I got the Eight of Pentacles? Because to go forwards now, you can't just sit there and let everything happen. You go, oh, I've made the adjustment, so I'm going to do nothing. Now the hard work really does begin because you've made an adjustment. You've made a change. You've understood that you're good enough, but you've now got to keep working at it every single day. Because say you only work at it one day and you wake up the next morning feeling rubbish again. You've done nothing, have you? You're not staying on that same path. It's a bit like we're in diet season, aren't we? And everybody wants that diet to work, but by the 5th day, it's like, oh, where's the chocolate? Where are the donuts? Where's all the bad food? Where are all my chips? Where are all my potatoes? Where are all the burgers? No, we don't want any of that. You've got to read the instructions. You've got to keep the discipline going. Being totally focused, and that is part of the King of Swords, staying totally and utterly focused on what you want to do and how you want to do it, and surge forwards with your Knight of Swords. Surge forwards swiftly, making sure you're focused, you're disciplined, and you're doing your new adjustment every day. And what's that? Knowing that you are good enough and you don't need to be hurt anymore. Enjoy this month. I knew the energy was going to be taking off this month. I just didn't know, as a reader, as a spiritual being in my way of guiding you, how quickly this energy was going to take off. But it's taking off. Go with it, Aries. This is your time. Have a fabulous month. My New Year predictions, if you didn't manage to get hold of them, they're on the back of this video. Please like and subscribe to my content if you're liking it. Pop me a comment, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye.